Chapter 18. Love, the story of the power of two. Anyone who has lived on this planet for any more than a few years will agree that men and women think differently. I believe both have very different attributes and abilities, so that when joined together, they produce a whole, a dynamic combination, and one that has access to more power than we can imagine. It is the combination of these joint attributes, together with two minds in sync for one joint purpose, which is the power of agreement, combined with a strong foundation of love, respect, expectation, forgiveness, and gratitude, that has the power to move mountains. So why don't we see this power at work in many relationships? Can there be an agreement between a male and a female to be honest, trustworthy, emotionally vulnerable to each other, loving and forgiving? Can they rise above the inevitable mistakes that are made as they both learn to work as a single entity rather than two single people? I believe that if trust and forgiveness are not alive and working well in a relationship, then the history of errors will ultimately kill off its potential, and it will become, at best, mundane role-playing, and at worst, a separation or divorce, and all the heartache that it brings with it. That's not to say that every relationship will fall apart, but many will reach a stage of no power of agreement, no trust, no expectation, no gratitude, no forgiveness, and therefore, no power at all, even to save itself. Why do the statistics tell us that well over 50% of marriages break down? Is it the historic scars that we all carry from our failures and defeats as we grow up, our bad opinion of ourselves? Is it the often unforgiven history of issues and opinions that have built up between two people, which have left feelings of disappointment and hurt? Do all relationships carry a fear of one or other partner being attracted to someone outside the relationship? A fear of being discarded? Do we judge our partners on their behavior, or is it based on the fear of our own weaknesses, our own hidden thoughts or intentions, our own inability to love and be loved? And the stories of justification that we continually tell ourselves? What are the weapons of a relationship between a man and a woman that cause strife? And are they the very same weapons that were meant to be used as tools to overcome the pressures of building a life together? Does language and context cause a divide? What about money, guilt, shame, isolation, and silence? Perhaps we could take sex as an example of a tool designed for building a stronger relationship but often used as a weapon? We'll get to that. So, we are told we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves, and I would suggest that that is where the issues begin. In my experience, people really struggle to understand what love is in relation to themselves and others. We see all around us as we grow up a confusion between love, affection, power, sex, and lust. Advertisements play a huge part in this, along with our language. We say we love a great book, we love a great film, we love nice food, we love going on holidays, we love our children, we love our football team, we love our job, we love a TV series, we love our pets, we love nice clothes, we love our partners, etc., etc. How can we start to understand love when we throw the word around on every subject? Is it conceivable that we would love a plant in the same way that we love our children? Of course not. Surely there must be a need for more clarity in defining our understanding of the word love and the many forms it can take. In all these things, are we involved in a competitive game? The film I love is better than the film you love. The team I support is better than yours. My partner is better than yours. My clothes are nicer than yours. I drive a better car than you. I have a better job than you. I have more money than you. Our children love me and need me more than you. My gifts and talents are more important in this family than yours. How can we live a creative life when our desire is to be better than everyone else, or at least someone else? And what about love when it comes to ourselves? Is that a kind of selfish love? Is it dependent upon how well we pamper ourselves, or how successful we are, or how well we look? Is it dependent on the opinions of others, our status in our family, work, or community? Is our love of ourselves momentary and changeable? Is it a feeling, an attitude, or a trait? Does love of ourselves emanate from our conscious or subconscious mind? Is it a reflection of the love we receive? If we receive love from someone else, does that make us feel worthy of loving ourselves? Can we love another person without feeling we are better than them, or at least their equal? Can we love someone of the opposite sex without simply wanting to jump into bed with them, thus bringing into play a competitiveness that can potentially bring destruction to the relationship? Is there a difference between having sex and making love? So, what does being creative in love look like? How can we move out of the competitive arena? What is the love that we should love ourselves and our neighbors with? How can we access that magnificently creative power that is available when a man and a woman passionately love each other and do not compete against each other or be subservient to the other? A loving friendship based on mutual admiration, equality, focused vision for a specific project, respect for one another, and their individual unique gifts can develop the same power. They do not need to be married or even partners. It is, of course, more difficult and only possible if both understand the potential dangers and can control the passion of the relationship enough to avoid the natural urges of sex, which can destroy long-term creativity. The temptation of an occasional rendezvous will always be more exciting than the mundane of normal life. But how can sex destroy creativity? Sex is physical. It is often selfish, mechanical, and self-seeking. It can, and often is, used as a weapon by one person to extract a specific action from the other, either as a payment for favors, for a favorable outcome to a proposal, or a reward for being good and accommodating. The threatened withdrawal of sex can be part of the power struggle between partners. It is competitive. Making love, on the other hand, is the opposite. It is spiritual, loving, partner-focused, non-threatening, non-self-seeking, and creative. Both scenarios may appear to be the same, but the outcome of the act is spectacularly different depending on the motivations. Love starts with understanding who we are in relation to everyone and everything around us, forgiving ourselves and others for the stuff that has been said and done in the past. It is recognizing and celebrating our own creativity, our specialness, what makes us different, the gifts and talents that we have on the inside of us, and believing that we have greatness built in waiting to reveal itself to ourselves and the world. It is seeing the same in your partner and wanting their uniqueness to shine through, even though we might not fully understand it. It is not competitive. It is understanding that we all make mistakes on our journey through life, especially if we are trying to break out of the mundane. It's a bond of trust that is the glue in a relationship as it grows through those tough times to emerge stronger. It's realizing that we have a direct connection with an awesome creativeness that is ready, waiting, and willing to work with us and through us to bring our needs, wants, and wishes to fruition in our own lives and also into the lives of those around us. When two people with this understanding connect on this level, the invisible becomes visible, the incredible becomes credible, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the impossible becomes possible. This is the power of agreement. This is the power of two. Unfortunately, it is often not understood or expressed in many relationships. Finding such a partner can be close to impossible. Why? Because for most of us, we simply don't qualify for that ourselves. It seems to me that most, or at least many couples, live a life that is just about bearable and won't decide to move on, because the effort and impact of a separation is deemed to be more trouble than putting up with the unfulfilled life that staying together offers. We all want love. We all want to hold hands, get hugs, feel wanted and needed, and have someone special in our lives to share our successes, believe in our ambitions, and comfort us in our defeats. It's an inbuilt want, a longing, a wish, and a hope, but it's not something common. So if you have it, treasure it. Don't fear the loss of it. Enjoy it. Revel in it. Express in it. Explore in it. Expand in it. Create in it. And grow in it. It's beautiful, and it's a piece of heaven. But what exactly is that power of two, and how does it work? As I wrote in an earlier chapter, we all carry a power inside us to change our inner world, and as a result, our outer world. We explored the electrical power that our brain generates, and we discovered that the power generated by the heart is up to 60 times stronger. When that heart power is employed, it creates an emotion, and that emotional power is what changes our world. So, when a man and a woman connect on an emotional level, which can be deep respect, admiration, camaraderie, love, and affection, which may or may not include close physical contact, then they can produce a power that nothing else can match, the very power of creation. 1 is a number of addition. 2 is a number of multiplication. 2 squared is the real power behind creativity. Many successful people, of both genders, put their success down to the love, understanding, support, encouragement, and respect that they received from their partners during their growing and learning times. Are there different kinds of love? The Greek philosophers examined the various aspects of love and romance and how we might see it in action, with insights from J. Lee's 1973 book, Colors of Love, and Roman Krznarik's 2015 book, How Should We Live? Great Ideas from the Past for Everyday Life. Here are some suggestions for the different kinds of love we might encounter, but often don't recognize. I find them interesting and revealing. 1. Eros, or sexual passion. The first kind of love was eros, named after the Greek god of fertility, and it represented the idea of sexual passion and desire. Eros was described as a universal force that moves all things towards peace, perfection, and divinity. Plato described it as an egocentric love, as it tends toward conquering and possessing the object that represents a value for man. To love the good signifies a desire to possess it forever. Love, he said, is therefore always a desire for immortality. Eros was viewed as a dangerous, fiery, and often irrational form of love, a madness from the gods that could possess you. Don't we all hope to fall madly in love? 2. Philia, or deep friendship. The second variety of love was philia, or friendship, which the Greeks valued far more than the base sexuality of eros. Philia concerned the deep, comradely friendship that developed between friends who have faced struggles together and perhaps overcome them, or maybe not. Friendships are ones where both friends enjoy each other's characters. As long as both friends keep similar characters, the relationship will endure, since the motive behind it is care for the friend, with mutual benefit and with companionship, dependability, and trust. For Plato, the best kind of friendship is that which lovers have for each other. Philia transforms eros from a lust for possession into an impulse for philosophy. So we might ask, how much of this comradely philia do we have in our lives today? It's an important question in an age when we attempt to amass friends on Facebook or followers on Twitter, achievements that would have hardly impressed the Greeks. 3. Storge. Storge, or familial love, based on friendship first and pertaining to the love between parents and their children. Storge is the fondness born out of familiarity or dependency. Storge lovers are friends first. However, it can also describe a sexual relationship between two people that gradually grew out of a friendship. However, that kind of friendship can endure even beyond the breakup of the sexual relationship. The main disadvantages of storge love may be the large time investment and the loss of that investment if the friendship ends. 4. Ludus, or playful love. This was the Greeks' idea of playful love. We've all had a taste of it in the flirting and teasing in the early stages of a relationship. Ludus love is when we sit around in a bar bantering and laughing with friends, or when we go out dancing. Ludus is playful or uncommitted love. The focus is on fun and sometimes also on conquest, with no strings attached. Ludus relationships are casual, undemanding, and uncomplicated, but, for all that, can be very long-lasting. Ludus works best when both parties are mature and self-sufficient. 5. Agape, or love for everyone. The fifth love, and perhaps the most radical, was agape, or selfless love. Agape is universal love, such as the love of God for us all. Also called charity by Christian thinkers, agape can be said to encompass the modern concept of altruism, defined as unselfish concern for the welfare of others. Agape gives love without expecting anything in return. 6. Pragma, or long-standing love. Another Greek love was the mature love known as pragma. Pragma was thought of as the highest form of love, the true commitment that comes from understanding compromise and tolerance. Pragma was about making compromises to help the relationship work over time and showing patience and tolerance. Pragma is a kind of practical love founded on reason or duty and one's longer-term interests. Sexual attraction takes a back seat in favor of personal qualities and compatibilities, shared goals, and making it work. We can expend too much energy on falling in love and need to learn more how to stand in love, making an effort to give love rather than just receive it. 7. Philautia, or love of the self. The Greek's seventh variety of love was philautia, or self-love. Philautia is a healthy form of love where you recognize your self-worth and don't ignore your personal needs. Self-love begins with acknowledging your responsibility for your own well-being. One form of philautia is an unhealthy variety associated with narcissism. The other form enhanced a wider capacity to love and a healthier self-esteem. The idea was that if you like yourself and feel secure in yourself, you will have plenty of love to give others. Aristotle put it like this: all friendly feelings for others are an extension of a man's feelings for himself. The ancient Greeks found diverse kinds of love in relationships with a wide range of people, friends, family, partners, strangers, and even themselves. This contrasts with our typical focus on a single romantic relationship, where we hope to find all the different loves wrapped into a single person or soulmate. The message from the Greeks is to nurture the varieties of love and tap into its many sources. Don't just seek passionate love, but cultivate loving friendships by spending more time with old friends and dancing the nights away. Moreover, we should abandon our obsession with perfection. Don't expect your partner to offer you all the varieties of love all of the time. Recognize that a relationship may begin with plenty of eros and ludus, then evolve toward embodying more pragma, storge, or agape. The diverse Greek system of love can also provide consolation. By mapping out the extent to which all 7 loves are present in your life, you might discover you've got a lot more love than you had ever imagined, even if you feel an absence of a physical lover. Quote, "The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, or a hell of heaven." Today, more than ever, the education given in classrooms is cold and cognitive, but once outside, it is our uneducated emotions that move us on, hold us back, or lead us astray. It is our emotions that determine our choice of profession, partner, politics, and our relationship with money, sex, and religion. Nothing can make us feel more alive or more human than our emotions, or hurt us more. Yet many people lumber through life without giving full consideration to their emotions. We are not taught about them in school, and many homes are dysfunctional when it comes to passing on emotional understanding to their children. This is mostly because parents don't have any awareness themselves, and partly because it requires unusual strength to gaze into the abyss of our deepest drives, needs, and fears and clearly identify our emotional condition. The significant issues in our lives that we don't deal with, we will pass on to our children. Think on this. There is power and significance in our emotions, and their influence is all too often overlooked. When we have come to an understanding of our own emotions, and then join forces emotionally with another person who has done likewise, an awesome power to overcome life's challenges and fears, and a power to build a life of love, joy, and fulfillment becomes available to us. This is a challenge we must undertake, with help when required, and with honesty to ourselves always. It is an ever-evolving, growing experience, and ultimately, the doorway to freedom. What is the difference between an emotion and a feeling? An emotion is a reaction in your biological system. It is literally a movement of energy, or energy in motion. When something happens, like a big bang, or an argument with someone, for example, it causes the energy in our biological system to move. Our heart races, our muscles tense up, we might sweat a little, our fists might clench, etc. The movement of that energy in motion is an emotion. A feeling, on the other hand, is our conscious reaction to the emotion in our body. It is possible to have an emotion and not a feeling. It is also possible to have an emotion and decide what feeling to have. For example, let's say you are upstairs in your home and builders are working downstairs. You hear a sudden bang. It might startle you, get your heart beating faster, even send a shiver down your spine, but you likely won't feel afraid or angry or sick because you know it's possible for the noise to be caused by the workers. The noise can cause an emotion, but you can decide the feeling. That's your conscious mind deciding what it is, and it's okay. If the same sudden bang happened downstairs when you thought you were in the house alone, the emotions might be much the same, but your conscious reaction would be very different. Therefore, it is your conscious thought that you associate with the noise that causes the feeling of fear, worry, upset, sickness, etc. So, when something emotionally upsets us in our relationship with another, we decide what feelings to attach to that. We can pull one from the past like, "He always does that," or "She never understands me," and that sets off stories in our head to justify those feelings. How we control those feelings is too big to get into here, other than to say that knowing what's going on in your head will help you regulate the stories a lot better. Answering the questions in Chapter 10 will give you a great starting place. What about compromise? Is that the way to go to have a happy relationship? No, that's competitive. A joint solution, a higher combined solution, is always better than a good compromise. It takes a little longer, more effort to work out, but ultimately the results are well worth it. For example, you want to watch one TV channel, your partner wants a different one. Take the time to find something you both want to watch. You can catch up on your own wants some other time. Better still, take turns watching what the other person wants to watch, and you might even learn to enjoy it. Whether you do or not, you are showing love to the other person by sharing the experience of something they love with them. If something is of interest to the one you love, then it should be of at least some interest to you too. A fatal belief would be believing you can fly, going to the nearest high building, and jumping off. But surely if you believe you can fly, you would try taking off from the ground first. Start from where you are. Do your beliefs require evidence before change takes place? Your confidence in your beliefs is usually stored in your conscious mind, whereas your fears and anxieties are stored in your subconscious mind. The challenge, however, is that your subconscious processing speed is approximately 100 times faster than your conscious processing speed. As a result of that, whatever is in your subconscious mind, which is your self-image, is going to come out first. In fact, your subconscious mind has already made a decision that your conscious mind thinks it has made, up to a few milliseconds before your conscious mind has made it. Quote, "Before you call, I will answer." This brings up the fascinating subject of free will. However, we won't go there now, other than to say that if you wish to look further at that topic, I suggest you read up on Benjamin Libet, who was the first recipient of the virtual Nobel Prize in Psychology from the University of Klagenfurt in 2003 for his pioneering achievements in the experimental investigation of consciousness, initiation of action, and free will. You might also want to include research by René Descartes, David Hume, and Immanuel Kant to get a wider viewpoint. You might also read the chapter I wrote on free will and choice in my second book, Who Knows You as You Want to Be Known. In order to make the right decisions, rather than your pre-programmed ones, you need to consciously make those decisions ahead of time by running through the situations, like playing a film, before they happen. Regular meditation will help with this. The other way is to pre-program the way you want to react into your subconscious mind. How can we do that? First, we must understand that our subconscious mind doesn't work in words. It works in concepts or pictures. So, what is a concept? A concept is a collection of data from many sources that feed into one image, or maybe more like an impression. Think of looking at an old photo. Whilst what you are looking at is an image, it also brings back the emotions of what was going on at the time it was taken. That could be a happy or a sad memory. Most times the emotional memory will completely override the appearance of what is going on in the image. Let's say it is a photo of you and your partner at a party. You might both be smiling at the time it was taken, but if you had an argument with your partner later that evening, that is most likely the emotion it will bring back to you. even though it is not portrayed in the photo. So your emotional memory of an event is how it will cause you to react in the present. Your self-image carries a lot of weight in this mix simply because an emotional trauma directly affects your self-image. Along with the data your senses are picking up from the environment you are in, your culture, your biases, your values, even if you are not aware of them, your predisposition to whatever situation and company you are in, and your physiology all play a part. Look at a group photo. Imagine all the connections involved with that. As you look across the faces, you will have an impression or memory of each person. Whether you liked them or their personality, maybe something they had done on you or for you. If you thought they were good-looking or talented or humorous, you might even remember a smell that you associate with them. If you were to actually put words to describe what you are feeling in each of these areas and then analyze them, your ability to function and make decisions would stop. Imagine needing to describe verbally all the connections portrayed in the photo you are looking at before you could understand it. It would be impossible, so that is why our subconscious works on an overall concept in any given situation. We think we are making decisions based on our thinking in the moment, but we're not. We are basing them on these concepts, which are highly complex. How can we possibly overcome all that built-in stuff to reprogram our subconscious mind? It takes work. We must practice thinking correctly in our quiet times. We need to connect to our thoughts and the emotions they bring up in us, then consciously decide to adjust the feeling they produce, because those feelings are building the stories and laying the tracks that our lives are running on. When we consider all the above, we can now see how difficult it is for two people to develop a bond that has the power of two. We can also see why it is futile to think that we can change another person. The bigger question is this: can you change yourself? Quote, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." Rumi.